This is In the Loop. I'm Christian Bryant. 2022 saw Americans across the country slowly trying to reopen and return to normal, or some semblance of it at least. After most states lifted all basic COVID restrictions or requirements for indoor spaces, many industries from retail to restaurants tried to slowly climb back to pre-pandemic levels. But one area is still struggling to find its footing, and that's live entertainment. For starters, venues for plays, concerts, shows, and more have been navigating between lifted restrictions and maintaining responsible COVID policies. The pandemic also accelerated some troubling trends, like declining audience subscriptions for venues and declining audience numbers in general, as live performances compete with more on-demand content and streaming. To make matters worse, rising ticket prices are also discouraging some audiences. Ticket prices can go up thanks to rising costs of goods and services behind the scenes, as venues struggle with a severe labor shortage. But there's one event that seems to be bucking this trend: live concerts. Despite the rising prices, the touring industry seems to be rebounding. According to Pollster, a trade publication for the concert industry, gross ticket sales for the top 100 tours in North America reached $1.7 billion for the first 6 months of 2022. That's a rise of 9% compared to the same period in 2019, pre-COVID. The concert giant Live Nation, which owns Ticketmaster, also boasted in August that the company had already sold 100 million tickets for the full year, more than in 2019. In many cases, music tours have become the lifeline for venues struggling to stay open, as well as artists who otherwise can't make much money through streaming. So it's easy to see why when tickets become more inaccessible for fans, things can get pretty ugly for audiences, performers, and venues.
Fans are now suing Live Nation Entertainment, Ticketmaster's parent company, for a laundry list of anti-competitive practices.
There is a monopoly. They also have quickly and quietly bought so many venues and arenas, so it is a vertical integration.
Well, rising country star Zach Bryan releasing a surprise album over the weekend titled All My Homies Hate Ticketmaster.
Ticketmaster found itself in a lot of hot water this past year for its alleged role in limiting fan access and sky-high ticket prices. Bruce Springsteen's 2023 tour tickets were reportedly selling up to $5,500. Pre-sale tickets for Taylor Swift's tour were quickly snatched up and put on resale sites like StubHub for over $35,000 in some cities. The Ticketmaster scandals toward the end of 2022 could have a major impact on concerts going forward. That's true for major tours coming up in 2023, which includes Beyonce, y'all, and beyond. Entertainment correspondent Casey Mendoza broke down those recent Ticketmaster lawsuits, what the arguments are on both sides, and what this could mean for concert lovers going forward.
Taylor Swift's upcoming Eras tour is this year's hottest ticket, but the ticket sale fiasco from last year has garnered Ticketmaster some bad blood. The company is facing 2 lawsuits from fans and looming investigations from states' attorneys and the Department of Justice, all focused on accusations of anti-competitive conduct.
They're saying that Ticketmaster has such control over the marketplace for tickets and venues that it's basically unfair competition and a violation of the antitrust laws.
Ticketmaster controls 80% of the market for ticketing and live concerts, which includes its own ticket resale platform. The company is also part of Live Nation Entertainment, which owns and manages some of the largest music venues in the country. Critics argue that because of the way Ticketmaster and Live Nation Entertainment can collect fees from nearly every part of the ticketing, ticket reselling, and concert-going process, the company has conspired with stadiums to force fans to buy more expensive tickets. Billboard estimates the company will collect between $9 million to $13 million in fees for Swift's upcoming tour. But while it's clear the company has a huge control of the market, is that enough to argue Ticketmaster is acting unfairly?
It's not necessarily just that they control it, but they have to engage in certain conduct that depresses, restricts, restrains other competitors from entering into the field. So if they're able to achieve that level of success based on their superior services and products, business acumen, or just through the mergers and acquisitions that they've done, which were fair and above board, then the law allows them to control that level of the marketplace.
The criticism of Ticketmaster is a common refrain in the music industry. In 1994, the Department of Justice and the band Pearl Jam took the company to court for its service fee policies and exclusive deals with concert venues.
It is this incestuous relationship and the lack of any national competition for Ticketmaster that has created the situation we're dealing with today.
Pearl Jam lost that legal battle, but Ticketmaster has been under scrutiny ever since, and especially in 2010 when the Justice Department approved a $2.5 billion merger between Ticketmaster and Live Nation. The New York Times called it a colossus, unlike anything the industry has ever seen, but proponents of the merger argued it would streamline the business.
So much has changed in 30 years with the internet. And then you have the added reselling ticket platforms.
Back in December, a statement from Live Nation said the company takes its responsibilities under the antitrust laws seriously, and that Ticketmaster does not embrace deceptive and questionable secondary ticketing practices. Music fans are closely watching the Swifties lawsuits, but the issue could affect other major concert tours in the future.
If this happens again with Beyonce's concert or any other major concert that has that kind of a flood from the marketplace to buy tickets instantly, it will fuel the flames of the plaintiffs and give them more evidence, because they will say it happened again. This was not an isolated incident.
Experts say the lawsuit against Ticketmaster could take about 2 years, long after the Eras Stadium tour ends. Casey Mendoza, Scripps News.